Hey everyone, so today I'm going to show you how to zigzag slip stitch your hexagons together. I really like the look of this join with the hexagons. I will admit that it was a bit of work compared to a join as you go method, but the overall effect afterwards I think is 100% worth it. So this tutorial will accompany the free pattern on my website, nautacrawlcrochet.com. I will have a link to it in the description box below so that you can follow along. Today we're going to be using Wool of the Andes. It's WeCrochet Wool of the Andes Bulky. This is their non-superwash. I'm going to be using the color Honey, which is a beautiful yellow color to join, just because obviously I joined these ones in black, but it doesn't show up very well on camera for a tutorial. So I also have my 5.5mm hook, or size I, which is the same size that I use to work up the motifs here. So let's get started. I'm going to get this blanket out of the way here, and I've got my motifs. Okay, so what I like to do to get myself organized is that I like to lay out my blanket, all the colors in the places you want them, and then I stack my motifs across my row starting from right to left, and I like to keep my top one on top so that every time I grab the next motif, it's the one that I need to join to my blanket. And so I have all my little stacks ready to go so that I always know which is next, so I'm not rifling through and trying to figure it out. It's all very organized. So to do this blanket, again, it was a labor of love, but worth it in the end. So with hexagons, you can't just work across a row as much as we would like to. I mean, you could do it for the first row, but then you would kind of be screwed for the rest of your blanket. Am I allowed to say that? So what we have to do is we have to join 3 sides at a time. So I started with the side. So this is the top of the blanket, and this is, the next row, and this is the side here. So I start on my side and I join this one, and then I tie off my yarn. And then for the next one, I'm going to start up here and work down, down, over, and then we tie it off. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. And then over here I go 1, 2, you would join your next hexagon here, 3, and tie it off, and then 1, 2, 3. And so you're always kind of working this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then your next row is 1, 2, 3. So it's just the beginning of the row. Sometimes the next one will hang out, like on this side you'll have this one hanging out, and so you can go 1, 2, but then you tie off. Okay, so anyways, that is what made the most sense to me, but you can work it however you want. So let's start with the zigzag. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a slip knot, put it on my hook here. Or I'm not going to put it on my hook, actually. I'm going to, in the corner of my second row motif, I'm going to attach it. Nice and tight, okay? Like so. And then I'm going to get myself situated here. Insert my hook over here and do a slip stitch. Okay? And then back over here on this one, I insert my hook and do a slip stitch. And then over on this side, I insert my hook from front to back, yarn over, and do a slip stitch. And then back on this side. Okay, so you're always inserting front to back, pulling through that yarn, and just working your way up. Okay. Oh dear, something just fell over. And so this part goes by really quickly, and I love Love, love, love the little braided effect that it gives it. Love, love, love. So we just work up to our next corner here. Into the corner space, okay? And then into this corner space. And then you're gonna tie off. Now you can sew that in if you want. I waited till I was done the whole blanket to sew in all of them, so I just kind of tucked it in behind, but feel free. I just worked it back and forth into the slip stitches on the back here, 3 or 4 times, overlapping each other. So now I'm going to start up here. Make sure you don't get yourself trapped, right? Like you can't start here and then go up unless you're going to continue this one. Because if you keep going this way, then you're trapped over here and you have to work up and it kind of gets really fiddly. So you always want to start from the top and work your way down over. See how that works out? So you create another slip knot. And I'm going to join over here in this corner. Okay, and then I'm going to slip stitch into this next motif. Okay, make sure it's nice and tight. And then we're going to go back over here, slip stitch, it's a little fiddly at first, especially trying to get it on camera here for you guys. So it is a little fiddly with the first few hexagons or motifs, but once you have enough of them joined, the blanket will weigh it down and it gets a lot easier to manage. But I do want to show you how I worked the corners together, because you want to make sure that you're getting at least 2 corners joined up, 3 if possible. So I'm going to go into that last stitch there, and now I'm at my corner, so I want to tuck that tail in behind here. So I'm going to go into this corner, okay, and then I'm going to go into this corner over here. Okay, so that's 2. And then I want to go back over here because we're going to be going in this direction, right? So I want to go to this corner again. So slip stitch, okay? And then we're joining along this edge. And you'll be able to tell if you've missed a corner because you'll be like, oh, it doesn't properly line up. So you'll know when you've not done it right here. Although it's pretty forgiving. It's very easy. So you just slip stitch on both sides all the way up, creating this beautiful braided effect. Oops. Okay, into my corner, and now we're going to join our next motif, right? So here we are, we're going to join this motif and work up. So I'll have 1, 2, 3 sides joined, okay? And then we'll tie off over here and start that again, that same process, 1, 2, 3. So I've slip stitched into my purple corner here, and now I'm going to slip stitch into my green corner. Okay, make sure it's snug. And then we just work up the side of the purple corner. Okay, into the corner, and then we're going to tie off our yarn and cut it. Okay. So there you have those joined up. And then I would start this motif, and I don't think I'll actually join it because I think you guys get the point. So you would start over here, work your way down, you know, into this corner, into this corner, into this corner, back over here and across, and then keep going across your rows. And then when you come down to your next one, so this is the way your blanket is, you're going to have one that sticks out, right? Because they go in that kind of fashion. So over here, you would join this to here, join your next hexagon and work up to here. And then you would cut your yarn and then start down, over, up. Okay? So on this row, you're going to do 1. On the next row, you're going to go 2. And on the next one, 1, if that makes sense. But you'll see as it goes here. Pull this tail down so nice and flat. So there you have it. And it creates a really, really beautiful effect. I loved it. Hope this was helpful. Take care.